Yeah, that's right. Fair use on that ass, man. Let go. Yo, love to all the family, man. Love to all the family, man. Great to vibrate with the tribe. It's great to feel tribal again. I feel better, man. Sorry for sneezing on y'all. And hope everybody's straight. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't want to let the Shabbat pass, man, without dropping that last press of John 22, man. And we're gonna get, who knows, man? Who knows, man? Let's just flow, man. Let's get some vibes, man. Love to the conscious vibe. You know, I dig some of the stuff around here, man. I like that 432, so we flowing it sometime. Man, I just want to relax, man. I had a great Shabbat, a great, tribunal, powwow with the fam bam. Love to all you brothers, you know you are. Love to the queens. Let me kick back, man. You know what I'm saying? Been washing tushies, man. Doing daddy stuff, man. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I know how y'all, I get it. Relax, man. Don't feel like you got to do too much. We're not going to go and do too much reading. Well, shit. I mean, we are going to do some reading, but not in that same, we're going to just, take it real smooth and easy, man. So, love the Drop Nation, everybody out there, purifying. Y'all want to see a near space weather balloon launch with GoPro? Pay attention to these GoPro lenses, how they curve the lens, You'll see. But it's a good look, though, at your stationary, fixed, melanated true earth plane. Let's vibrate for a few minutes with this and kick back, and we're going to get into some Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 9 and 10. Love to Chase Stu, love to the tribe, man, bringing this out, man, and it's a great thing. Let's see this balloon fly. I mean, don't you want to see what your earth look like? Don't you want to see if you're spinning on a ball? And if the sun is 96 million kajillion miles away? Or is it right on top of you, inside of the barrier? Check it out. Let's fly, baby. This is what you gotta do to the static. You gotta fly above it. You gotta levitate on it. Everybody wanna bring you down. Everybody wants you to feel like them. Because they going through static. You gotta go through static too. Nobody likes to be lonely. Sometimes you gotta raise your altitude, change your perspective, feel the Creator. Oh, we getting flyer. Now, I know you think you see curvature, but that is what is called a curved GoPro lens, and that's what they use to do a lot of deception. But you're going to see the lens, do the convex thing and then come back up like that. So don't be fooled by these GoPro lenses, because when you catch them at the right time, you'll see your stationary plane, your flat plane. See the lens, see how the lens is curving? Pay attention to how the lens is. Now you see it retracting. Now it's flat. Now it's curving again. Now it's convex almost. It's going to be real convex. See the curvature? So don't get seasick with all this curvature. You're getting closer to the sun. And I want you to use your senses, because they did a lot, man. They did a lot to turn your senses away from the truth. To make you feel like you're spinning on the ball when you're not. To make you feel like your perspective is off. Oh, that big light, it's 96 million miles away. But when you look at it from 109 feet, that will change your perspective. You can see, okay, am I seeing some large gaseous mega ball? Or am I seeing something that is reasonably small but very bright and is right on top of us? When it's on top of you, it's summertime. When it cycles away from you, it's wintertime, wherever you are. It's rotating around you. Then they wanted you to worship the sun, so they made you worship the sun by rotating around the sun forever. Forever you'll be rotating around the sun. That is heliocentrism. That is sun worship. And we got us on a ball like a bunch of sun worshipers. That is the Baal. No longer are we under the sorcery, the spell of Baal. The spell of Thoth. The spell of the Atlanteans that hijacked us a long time ago. And so fell Atlantis, and so fell Egypt, and so fall all those who think they can hold Israel in captivity forever. So fall all those that think they can keep Israel blind forever. There is a people that have a covenant with that which is above this barrier that entraps the sun. There's a people that have a covenant with those ancestors that are promised to return. We are all under the same covenant. The same covenant you have with the water. The same covenant you have with that gentle breeze, the wind. You have a covenant with nature because of your covenant with the Creator. And only because of your covenant and vibration of that which exists. Hawa. Look at the curvature. Watch this. Keep looking at the curvature. Oh, look at the curvature. Watch this. Look at the curvature. You see how it gets very flat, because that's the real horizon. This is the lens, the GoPro curved lens. Now look at your sun right on top of you. We are remembering our ancestors. And though we feel out of control when our bubble bursts, we see we are not on a ball. Look at this. Where's your ball? Look at the lens, how it's in and out. It's all flat. Where is your ball? You want to see another one? What the Fizzy? What kind of links y'all sending me, man? What kind of links y'all sending me, brother? I just want to look at, try to find one I haven't seen yet. Let's try this one here. This says Flat Earth Amateur High Altitude Balloon Video. So these are amateurs with high altitude balloons. And they want you to see their shit. So let's check out this one. You tell me based on this one. I haven't seen this one yet. I don't know what kind of lens they use or nothing. But let's see. Perspective. Mental perspective. It's all about perspective. When they change your perspective, they flip you inside out. Then you just become a robot. Downloading information, downloading bullshit. Do you really feel like you're spinning on a ball right now at 1,100 fucking miles per hour? All that water just glued because of some god called gravity, some force you have to believe in that has never been confirmed, which is why it's a theory. It's left as a theory. Gravity's a theory. Jeez, man. Y'all got me going crazy trying to save y'all from going crazy. Your God is a theory, not a law. So you are stuck on a ball because of something you believe in that has never been proven. You got more faith than me. Look at your sun. I'm about to see that hot spot again. And before you see it, I ask you, how can the sun make a hot spot from 96 million miles away? Just use your senses. Turn them on. How can a sun make a hot spot from 96 million miles, man? From 96, just come on, just open your head, From 96 million miles, if this light was coming from 96 million miles away, it would just be hitting, we're so small compared to the sun, right? It would be hitting us evenly. It would be so far away that light would just be beaming on us evenly. But hitting a point, making a hot spot, like a spotlight, yo, from 96 million. What is this, a laser sun? The sun is shooting a laser from 96 million miles away and hitting the earth and making a hot spot on this little teeny weeny earth compared to the sun? Or are we huge? Are we a huge flat plane and the sun is small, and it's right on top of this spot, like your senses tell you right now, wake up. And the sun is right on top of this spot, making a hot spot, and it's going to rotate to another spot and make another hot spot, because we are gigantic, not it. Stop worshiping the sun. Call it a portal if you want to, but it is not your creator. Stop going around it, thinking you got to go around it every year, every day. You got to go around the sun. Spinning on a wobble with some god called gravity, making you go around the sun. Axis shifts and polar shift axis. You are on a enormous plane, and no one really knows how far it goes. But we're going to get back into worlds beyond the poles. Shout out to Giannini. Why is there a hotspot? A hotspot from our very close sun, clearly visible on the clouds underneath. On the clouds. Sun. Hotspot. Sun. Hotspot. Sun. Hotspot. This is a spotlight, yo. This is a hotspot spotlight, yo. Who's going to stand here? Yeezy? Is Yeezy going to perform right here? Future and Yeezy and Drake going to do a show on this spotlight? Come on, man. 96 million miles away while we're spinning on a wobble. This motherfucker make a hotspot. Our teeny ass will be covered evenly with that enormous light from 96 million gajillion miles away. They say some shit to make you say, oh, okay. Nah, man. We are firm, we are fixed, we are immovable, and all the celestial rotates around you. So stop worshiping it. Nothing's more important than you. Nothing's more important than the heritage. Nothing's more important than what comes out of this for you. It's all about you. It's all about your heritage. Bullshit, right? This is what they want you to think. That all these buildings are just upside down on this side, and these buildings are sideways, and people are upside down here, and a plane here that goes from here to here is flying until it flies to this part. And once it goes here, ain't it upside down? When does the plane flip upside down? It starts here right side up. It goes over here. Now it's upside down. A plane would have to be upside down by the time it came here. When did that shit happen? You're on a ball. You're going to drill through your ball. When do you drill and then come up out of your ball? When did you flip around to come up out of your ball? If you start drilling down, right? You and the homie got 2 shovels and y'all start shoveling down. Aren't you standing up? So by the time you keep shoveling to get to the other side of your ball, don't you have to dig up out of it? You're not going to come out feet first, right? Aren't you going to be, logically climbing up out of something? Just like the plane had to flip upside down? When did you flip upside down to now start digging up? When did you stop digging down from here and start digging up to get out? Did you have a gravity shift in the middle of your ball? A supersonic gravity wave say, flip over, start digging up now. We're in the middle of your ball. Stop the bullshit. Get off of your ball. Bayal. Stop spinning, Bayal. They got you in chaos, spinning out of control on your Bayal and a frequency. It's your frequency against the frequency. This doesn't have to be your frequency. So come to order and stop resisting the frequency and stop resisting your order. Go with your flow. Surf the wave is what we say. We're going with our flow. We're no longer resisting the Creator. Come on. I want to see that hotspot again. Let me back it up right quick. Let's see if we can get that hotspot. Pay attention. Use your senses. Pay attention for the hot spot. For the spotlight. It's never late. Bang. Coming up next. Bullshit. Take it away. Here's your spotlight. So, real shit, man. You know, we digging on it. We're using our senses. We see a spotlight. We go up 100-something feet. We see how close this big beam really is. And we say, that looks like it's the same size as the moon. It's not bigger than the moon at all, making a hot spot. And the Book of Enoch says it is 32 miles in diameter. It calls this Thomas. I think that's one of the names in the Book of Enoch. Thomas. That's what my children call the sun. They say, oh, there's Thomas. And they see the moon. They say, oh, that's Ibla. You know, we just rock with that Enoch. But it's the same size, so that's where you get your eclipses from. 32 miles in diameter, they come in front of each other. Now, what eclipses the moon, right? You know what I'm saying? What causes that? You know, these are what you call those rogue or those bodies that are not luminous, should I say. You know, those that are not, you know, those that you can't see. There's a lot of these little, you know, surfaces, whatever they are, and that's what we're trying to research. No one really knows, right? So I'm asking these questions with you. What are these things? You know what I'm saying? So there's lots of theories. But when we start taking it away from the system, from the Copernican, heliocentric situation, you know, get more geocentric, get more earth understanding that we are the center of it all. Then you can say, okay, well, now I can start putting these things together. Are these portals? What is this? What is that? Has the moon always been there? I've researched the time of a pre-moon period. Is that real? Is there a pre-moon period? What's going on with that? Is that some shuttle, you know, artificial hollow shuttle thing, or is it something else? You know what I'm saying? All these things are valid points because they ain't been back to the moon since the 70s, man. So they ain't trying to answer shit about the moon. So we better ask questions about this big old light governing the night. Check out those moonlight experiments, man. Ashley Webster got some great ones showing how the moonlight actually cools the surfaces. When the moonlight hits the surface, it's even colder than what the shade does at night. So the moonlight has a property that cools the surface, while the sunlight has a property that heats a surface. So they have two opposite properties of light. So the moon is its own luminary, its own light. It is not reflecting the sun like those, you know, crazy people say. And you can even go right here, put on moonlight test. You know what I mean? Temperature. Yeah. I want to put in Ashley Webster because she had a good one. Hopefully they didn't take her stuff down because she was kicking it real cold. I'm just surfing the wave, man. Just trying to feel good with y'all, you know. I don't want to get crazy today. I told you I don't want to do too much. Oh, I could have clicked it right there. Is it too late? Is it too late? Yeah, man. You know, different people got different drop, man. That's what we say, surf the wave. Ooh, she has some salt flat drop. Oh, let's get this first. I mean, this is the meaning of surfing the wave, man. And again, we're not going against order. We're just observing, being scientific with repeatable and observable science. So look at this science experiment with the moonlight versus moon shade. Moonlight versus moon shade, all right? So we're going to put something out in the moonlight, and then you're going to hide something from the moonlight and put it in the moon shade, away from the moonlight. So in perfect darkness at night. So you got the perfect darkness versus the moonlight. And this test is going to prove, like many others will prove, you see moonlight test results. Other people are doing the same thing, being scientific. They say don't ask these questions no more. We're being scientific. Oh, man, I ain't subscribed to Ashley Webster, man. Let me get subscribed, man. My busy. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate her work, man. She's been doing it for a minute. So, yeah, man, check out these experiments. And you tell me, is the moonlight, does it cool surfaces more than just darkness? Does the light of the moon cause a surface to cool The moonlight makes it cooler than the actual darkness. And the sunlight makes it, you already know, turn up. So let's see what we got. All right, we could just watch it. All right, so 76.4 is what she's reading in just the, I believe she's getting that out the moonlight. Let's go. Now she's getting 78.4. I want to see what she's talking about. So what I'm going to do is pause our wonderful, thanks again to the Conscious Vibe, because we about to go into it. Conscious Vibe, chill step 432. But Ashley's over here dropping some experiments, man. Oh, yeah, we're going to get there. And I want to see what this is. So let's take this back a little bit.
I have a mat out here in the yard. The left side is full moonlight. The right side is moon shade. I don't want the light to interfere with our testing, so I'll do it quick. I'm testing with an infrared thermometer. And this is full moonlight. .4.
So one is reading 78, the other is reading 76. So the full moonlight has a lower reading than the moon shade. Half of her blankets in the moonlight, half the blankets in the moon shade. All right, so I mean,
2 degrees
do it yourself.
Different. This side is full moonlight. And that side is moon shade.
Yeah, all right.
Moon shade.
I mean, this is stuff you can do yourself. You don't have to take Ashley's word. I just appreciate her because she's doing it herself. And there's a lot of amateur, so-called, you know what I'm saying, just regular people, man, just folks that say, man, I want some answers. I want to figure something out, man. I want to see what time it is, man. So let's just get it like this. All right, man. Remember, man, fair use, fair use. All up on your face bone, fair use. You know what I'm saying? We going to stay in swag frequency while we do's that. Get out of here. Get out of here. We good there. Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Keep that. All right, let's go here. Let's get this Ecclesiasticus, man. Let's just fall back. Love again, man. We had a great convo, man. You know, what we call a powwow for the Shabbat. And what came out of it was this wonderful script. And my man Jay hit us all, man, and said, yo, we gotta dive back into this, you know, Ecclesiasticus, man. So I'm gonna dig it right out the Et Sefer. You already know. And yeah, man, let's just vibrate. Ecclesiasticus. Get your Ecclesiasticus. However you say it. Chapter 9 and 10. I mean, surfing the wave is so lovely, don't you agree? I said surfing the wave is so lovely, don't you agree? I ain't nobody, man. I ain't shit, baby. I'm just your neighborhood partner, reminding you to stay wavy. I'm telling you it's all good, no matter what you're going through. It's all good. And that ain't no just yip yap. It's all good because that's just order. It's order for us now. We're here now. We're awakening now. It's a different time now. Look at the information. It's space we're in. So we can go back, we can relax, we can vibe, we can remember, we can activate. So love again to the family, you know, truly making it happen, man, fighting for every bit of the serenity that belongs to us, you know what I mean? The Book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9. Be not jealous over the woman of your bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against yourself. Give not your soul unto a woman to set her foot upon your substance. Meet not with a harlot, lest you fall into her snares. Alright? This is just real spill. I mean, this is an energy that's taken down our kingdom time and time again. You know, this energy of what they would call this Ashereth and this Isis and this type of, you know, what they call a divine feminine energy. But we understand energy is energy. And if you're out of order, you're out of order. You know, so we have our mother, we have wisdom. We know the earth is our feminine balance. It's our mother, it's our womb. It's the womb. We know our creator is the shaper, is the vibration itself that everything must be in to be order. And your mother can only grant you wisdom once you're in the order of your father's house. Once you're in the law of your father's house, can the mother truly make a house a home and nourish you. And that is your flow. So this divine feminine energy situation coming out of Egypt and Atlantis and different other energies like that are energies that disrupt that flow, that disrupt the balance of the creator. And so we're talking right here, yo, give not your soul, I'm in verse 2, give not your soul unto a woman to set her foot upon your substance. Meet not with a harlot, lest you fall into her snares. Use not the company of a woman that is a singer, lest you be taken with her attempts. So again, you know, I don't think this is singer referring to Patti LaBelle, you know, but I think it's referring to a harlot singer. Lest you be taken with her attempts. Gaze not on a maid, that you fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not your soul unto harlots, that you lose not your inheritance. Look not round about you in the streets of the city, neither wonder in the solitary place thereof. Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty, for many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. So we're talking about superficial beauty and actual beauty. The superficial beauty, when the scriptures, you know, in Genesis talks about the fallen angels teaching man things that were out of order. I believe that included, you know, certain things with like makeup and polishes and certain things that they would use, and it has a certain, you know, energy that you know creates a, you know what I'm saying, it's a, you know, distraction of sorts, you know what I'm saying, or some type of you know, attention, you know, situation to where it's a different frequency. It's a different frequency than the beauty within. So all of these, you know, major you know, attention and attractions to the physical beauty and not the actual natural beauty, these are all ways of stepping out of order. You don't need to put all that attention into a physical beauty once your beauty within is vibrating. But that's not going for what we call, you know, our real, you know what I'm saying, our real ones, our queens out there. But we know our women out there that are playing the harlot. We see the videos, we know what's going on. We see them in the schools, we know what's going on. And that harlot energy is what is being addressed right here in Ecclesiasticus. That's the out of order. We know the out of order male energy, all that violence, and we know the out of order feminine energy. All right. And it said, don't lose your inheritance over this feminine energy. That's out of order. Don't lose your inheritance over the male energy that's out of order. But for some reason, when it came down to King Solomon and David and these, these patriarchs in this situation, it was the feminine energy, the harlot, that made a lot of them stumble and lose their inheritance. They would go to war over this. They would lose their lives. They would lose everything, their entire kingdoms, over this feminine harlot energy. And we know right now it is on blast and it's on full tilt. So there's a reason this is all coming out right now for us to dig in on and remind ourselves to be bigger than that, to be better than that energy. As men, we need to be bigger than that energy and know that our sisters, the beauty that they are, by, simply remembering who they are. It's all we're looking for, is a woman that knows who she is. That's beautiful. But all that, hair done, nail done, everything done, you know what I'm saying? I want, give me this and give me that and that and that. And I'm going to do this, and by this, this is the value I put on myself, that I get these things, I get this stuff. If this don't apply to you, all right, I ain't shit. I already told you I ain't shit, man. I'm just reminding you that you the shit. You the shit. You the shit. My sister, you the shit. All right? That's all I'm trying to say. So no one's trying to be victimized, in any way, by any static, right? So we're just addressing the static. I'm in verse 5. Actually, I'm in verse, let's go to verse 6. Give not your soul unto harlots, that you lose your inheritance. Look not around you in the streets of the city, neither wander in the solitary place thereof. Don't just go around looking for something to happen. All up in the club. Look not around you in the streets of the city, all up in the club. Neither wander in the solitary place thereof. Don't be cutting through alleys, man. Trying to get that other frequency, that harlot frequency. Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman. Well, we know we're talking about a, illusionary beauty, right? Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman and not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as fire. Sit not at all with another man's woman. All right, you already know, bros. People dying over this shit. Listen up. Sit not at all with another man's woman, nor sit down with her in your arms, and spend not your money with her at the wine, lest your heart incline unto her, and so through your desire fall into destruction. Ain't that the truth? I said, ain't that the truth? Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, you shall drink it with pleasure. And that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, fight for the 432 and all the homies, even if they ain't growing at the same pace and this and that. You know what I'm saying? You feel this, but whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Now, some people need to be, cut off from. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody needs to be attached to you at all times, but you know a friend when you know a friend. You know a friend. You know a friend when you know a friend. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, you shall drink it with pleasure. Envy not the glory of a sinner, somebody out of order, chaotic. For you know not what shall be his end. You don't know the end of that chaos, man. Delight not in the thing that the wicked have pleasure in, but remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. You say, man, but the wicked got this Bentley. But look at the wicked's mansion. Oh, the wicked got all the hoes, all the harlots. They got all that frequency over there, man. Nah, man, they ain't got nothing, man. Delight not in the thing that the wicked have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto the grave. Keep far from the man that has power to kill. Keep far from the man that got power to kill. Listen up, kings. Listen up, queens. Keep far from the man that has power to kill, so shall you not doubt the fear of death. And if you come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away your life. Presently remember that you go in the midst of snares, and that you walk upon the battlements of the city. So tread lightly, man. Be easy is what he's trying to say. Be easy. Be easy. You know, don't overstep your bounds. You know, don't play with fire. You know something's fire. You know it's chaotic. You know it's chaos. Separate. That's your alchemy. Separate. You know what I'm saying? But if you know somebody, you love somebody, and they got a little of that 432 in them, and they might got a gang of static, a gang of, 440. But that 432, that light, is the power, man. That light, when you turn it on, if they got it and you know they got it, man. If you know they got it, turning on that light for them, man, will erase all that darkness, man. The darkness goes fleeing in the light, right? You take a candle in the darkness flees from the candle. That's the 432. It only takes a little 432 to brighten up an entire temple. Your temple. It only takes a little light to brighten a room. As near as you can, guess at your neighbor and consult with the wise. Let your talk be with the wise, and all your communication in the Torah, the law. And let just men eat and drink with you, and let your glorifying be in the fear of Hawa. For the land of the artificer, the work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech. A man of ill tongue is dangerous in the city, and that is rash, and he is rash, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. Again, for the hand of the artificer, the work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech. A man of ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. A wise judge will instruct his people, in the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. In what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. An unwise king destroys his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of Hawa, and in due time he will set over in one that is profitable. In the hands of the Creator is the prosperity of man, and upon the person of the scribe shall he lay his honor. Bear not hatred to your neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before the Creator and man, and by both does one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. Riches got by deceit. They took your land by deceit and poison and treachery. Meditate on that. Bear not hatred to your neighbor for every wrong, and do nothing at all by injurious practices. Pride is hateful before and man, and by both does one commit iniquity, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Wow. You thought we was bull crapping you? Riches stolen from your land, got by deceit. Your kingdom has been transferred from one to another. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, murder, and riches got by deceit. The kingdom is translated from one people to another. Why is earth and ashes proud? There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man, for such one sets his own soul to sell, because while he lives, he casts away his bowels. The physician cuts off a long disease, and he that is today a king tomorrow shall die. Who are the kings of the earth today? He that is king. He that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departs from The beginning of pride is when one departs from the Creator. And his heart is turned away from his Maker. For pride is the beginning of sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law. What's the law? Your commandments: don't kill, don't steal, don't eat no bugs, no low vibrations, man. I mean, normal stuff that you tell the people you love so that they can vibrate together above the firmament and not be hijacked and trapped by the celestial, worshiping the sun. You get it? Worshiping the stars and all the other planets. Worshiping Mars and Jupiter and Saturn. For pride is the beginning of sin. He that has it shall pour out abomination, and therefore brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. Has cut down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Has plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and has made their memorial to cease from the earth. Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. They that fear are a sure seed, a sure seed, a sure seed. And they that love in him an honorable plant, a sure seed and an honorable plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear in his eyes. The fear of goes before the obtaining of authority, but roughness and pride is the losing thereof. Whether he be noble, rich, or poor, their glory is the fear of existence, becoming. Establishment. It is not meet to despise the poor man. It is not cool to despise your brother. It is not meet to despise the poor man that has understanding, Neither is it convenient to magnify a sinful man. People be bigging up in brothers when they know that they're nothing but chaos. And they big them up because they want a piece of something. Their greed, their pride, their separation from their maker makes it so. Great men and judges and potentates shall be honored, yet is there none of them greater than he that fears Allah. What's that fear? It's the fear that when your daddy comes home and your shit ain't lined up, you ain't in order, you out of order, that's your ass, man. Who created your sacred trees? Because they have order. Look at the hexagonal formations. Look at the organic formations of these trees, of these mountains. Look at them, man. Look at yourself. You think you're an accidental stardust of evolution? Or did you have a maker? Do you have an existence? Do you have Hawa? Let's finish it out. Unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service. Unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service. And he that has knowledge will not grudge when he is reformed. Be not otherwise in doing your business, and boast not yourself in the time of your distress. Better is he that labors and abounds in all things than he that boasts himself and wants bread. My son, glorify your soul in meekness, and give it honor according to the dignity thereof. Who will justify him that sins against his own soul? And who will honor him that dishonors his own life? The poor man is honored for his skill, and the rich man is honored for his riches. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? Shalom, Kwan, Yashra, to the seed, to those that know their maker, to those that are not resisting order and are ready to receive their mother being replenished all around them. The earth is coming anew, but you can't be in the same old frequency, doing the same old two-step. In the club looking for a harlot. You're going to have to dig on it, man. You're going to have to dig all the way down. Alright. So let's see where we're at. We got a little time left. Just a little bit. Let's see what we can do with that, man. I hope y'all got to relax a little bit. I hope I helped, a little bit, man. I hope things got a little more cool for you, man. I'm going to do this dismount right here like this and like that. All right. Put the suffer away. The Travels of John de Marignolli. Marignolli. Let me back up a little. Make sure we can all see all these words here. All right. Here we go. So let's get a little bit of this. We've been on that Prester John tough. Like I said, I might, stop at 25. I said 22. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I know it's getting good to me. I hope it's getting good to you. Researching our King David. Researching the truth, the foundational legends that they left behind. But let's just get this, man. This is an explorer by the name of John de Marignolli. Marignolli. Oh, John de Marignolli. All right, 1339 to 1353. All right, okay. Digitized, yada, yada, yada. All right. Sir Henry Yulee. Cathay. Remember Cathay being connected to Cuba? Do I have to get that again, or do I trust you'll go back to the previous drop? Well, of course, they want to connect it to China, but it's all the same to them, because they had the same ruler. Oh yeah, Cathay. And the Way Thither, being a collection of medieval notices of China, Volume 2. All right, let's just get it. So it says, the author begins by announcing his intention of dividing his work into 3 books: Derigos, or the history of the world, from the creation to the building of Babel. All right. Marnocus, or the history of the kings. All right, let's get that. Let's get that too, man. On the play. So here we go. After speaking of the creation, the author comes to treat of paradise eastward in the place called Eden beyond India. All right. This ain't Prester John, but I want you to keep him in mind. And this launches him at once on his reminiscences as follows. So here we go. And now, to insert some brief passages of what I have seen myself, I, Friar John of Florence, of the Order of Minors, and now unworthy Bishop of Bisignano, was sent with certain others in the year of our Lord 1338. Yeah, whenever they say year of our Lord, that lets me know that they're talking about, some other type of timeline. So, their Lord's timeline. Is it your Lord's timeline? But let's go. By the Holy Pope Benedict the 11th, to carry letters and presents from the Apostolic See to the Khan, or chief emperor of all the Tartars. All right, we're just gonna flow, because we're gonna, all this connects to everything we've been doing. I just want to give you this dismount that I got you nice and relaxed. So this is just a little bonus, man. Just a little bonus. So dig on it. So, this John of Florence, Order of the Minors, by the Pope Benedict, to carry letters and presents to the Apostolic See, from the Apostolic See to the Khan, or chief emperor of all the Tartars. So again, the Mongols, Tartars, Khans, all the same thing. And we got, our Kariots, and how that connected to the Rechabites, all right, which are just what they call them, Kenites. All right, so the Rechabites, again, are the Kenites. All right, and the Kenites are also called Kenites here, called the Kariots, right? So here's the Kariots, are the Kenites, are the Rechabites. So that's all you're reading in Jeremiah 35, which hope we have time to get. Kariots right there. All right. Also called Khanites. So these Khanites are also Kenites. These Rechabites are also Khanites. And these are the Khans. And these are the priests. And these are the descendants of Rechab through Jonadab and Johannadab. All right. They belong to the Kenites or Khanites who accompanied the children of Israel into Palestine and dwelt among them. Moses married a Kenite or Khanite wife. All right. So these are the tribes of Moses, the Rechabites, declaration of faith. The declaration of faith has been recited in the Kariot synagogue from at least the 13th century. So then they have the oneness with the creator, the truth of the Torah given to Moses, the perfect nature of the Torah, which requires no additions or supplements. The concept, these are the law keepers. These are the people of the scripture. And they're all listed under Kariot. So get that previous drop. I want to go more into this. Because, they got their own, it's its own entity. But these Kariots are also called Mongolians. And they all connect back to the 12th century. And this connected with Israel through Moses, this tribe of Moses, which of course connects all the way back to Prester John, who is the king of the Kariots, which we got before with all these great documents here. So I don't want to waste too much time with it, but to, connect it. If you're interested, go back and get it. Go back and get that. So when we're talking about the Khan, again, You got the Kanites, the Kenites, the Rockabites. These people that are rocking with who? Prester John. Wang Khan and Chariots in Mongol Empire. Wang Khan as Prester John. Prester John is King David. Wang Khan, who was the son of Caracas Khatan. Alright, they say he died in 1200, but did he? He had the Fountain of Youth. Is this Suleiman? Is this David? The Tartars rebelled against the Jin dynasty. Alright, Tagro was recorded under the title Wang Khan, 1203. Temujin defeated the Chariot, so that's Genghis Khan. So now we're tying in the myth of Genghis Khan, which is a foundational legend of the foster son or nephew of Prester John, to the Khans and the Khanate, the Khanate, Chariots, Khanates, Chariots, Khanates, Chariots, Rechabites, Rechabites, Jeremiah 35. See? And here's how they're hiding the priesthood of Prester John, which is Moses and his father-in-law Jethro and their people, and that's the mixed multitude. Again, Abyssinia, it means mixed, and that could be a reference to that. So again, he's carrying letters to the Khan or chief emperor of all the Tartars. We just got that, Tartars. All right, Tartars, Tartar king. One more time. I mean, we got to do it. A separate people, these Rockabites. They're a separate people. Where we at? So many links. Wang Khan, Prester John, Chariots. Alright, these are the Tartars rebelling against the Jin dynasty. The Jin commander sent an embassy to Temujin. Alright, the Jin commander sent an embassy to Temujin. A fight broke out with the Tartars. A fight with the Tartars broke out, and the Chariot Mongol alliance defeated them. So this is what's happening with the Tartars is Wang, this Prester John, what they're called the last noble king image, priest king image. So that's very important to establish. So this Khan that this friar is looking for, the same way Columbus said he's looking for the Khan, all of them are being sent by the Pope to this guy, King David, who they're trying to call a Christian, but we know that he's rocking with the Rockabites, and with the one thing the Rockabites are not are Christians. The Chariots are a sect of the Jews who believe that only the Tanakh have authority and that the Mishnah and Talmud are not divinely inspired. This sect began the 8th century in Babylon. What they call it now, you got the Exilarchs, the Babylons in exile. All right, the Babylons in exile, Babylonians, the Hebrews in exile in Babylon. And you have these people that are just law keepers, and they're connecting them to the tribe of Moses. The tribe of Moses. Man, some good drop there. All right. Okay. Let's keep going. And now to insert some brief passages, which I have seen myself. All right, so we set out from Avignon in the month of December, some to Naples in the beginning of Lent, and stopped there until Easter, which fell at the end of March, waiting for the ship of Genoa, which was coming from the Tartar envoys, with whom the Khan had sent from his city of Kabalek to the Pope to request the latter to dispatch an embassy to his court, whereby communication might be established. So they're just talking about an establishment of communication. This ain't no alliance. The Pope knows that this dude, Prester John, that this King David is going to work on the Persians, the Medes, the Moors, Islam, the Sultan. He's against Islam. He's against Christianity. But they're still trying to recruit them for their fight, their Christian fight, to be on the Christian side. And that's what they're coming out, searching all this time to recruit this King David. They're recruiting this King David to fight in their wars with them against the Muslims, which he was already doing. All right, so whereby communication might be established and a treaty of alliance struck between him and the Christians. They wanted a treaty of alliance. Did they receive that? Now they say for he greatly loves and honors old faith with our faith. All right. But they never met him before. Moreover, the chief princes of this whole empire, more than 30,000 in number, who are called Alans. We got that Alans before. All right, all right, let's keep going. And govern the whole Orient, are Christians, they want to say, either in fact or in name. In fact or in name. What's the difference between the fact of being a Christian and the name you're putting on them? Calling themselves the Pope's slaves. All right, so dodge the hijack. And ready to die for the Franks. For so they term us, not indeed from France, but from Frank land. The land of the Franks. Their first apostle was Friar John, called de Monte Corvino, who 72 years previously, after having been soldier, judge, and doctor in the service of Emperor Frederick. All right, all this is coming back, because we got this this Frederick before, we got this Frank before, so let's get this perspective of it, Dodge the hijack, but we're going to get some babies. Let's go for the dismount. Had become a minor friar, and a most wise and learned one. Howbeit, on the 1st of May, we arrived by sea at Constantinople, and stopped at Peru till the feast of St. John Baptist. We had no idle time of it, however. We were engaged in a most weighty controversy with the patriarch of the Greeks and their whole council in the palace of St. Sophia, wherein their God wrought in us a new miracle, giving us a mouth and wisdom, which they were not able to resist, for they were constrained to confess that they must needs be schematics, all right, flow with it, and had no plea to urge against their own condemnation except the intolerable arrogance of Roman prelates. Thence we sailed across the Black Sea, and in 8 days arrived at Kaffa, where there are so-called Christians of many sects, remember, by fact or by name, they're calling it. From that place we went on to the first emperor of the Tartars, Uzbek, and laid before him the letters which we bore, with certain pieces of cloth, a great war horse, some strong liquor, in the Pope's presence. So he gave them some strong liquor. He's bringing strong liquor to the emperor of the Tartars. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, now you see a liquor store on every corner. And it started like this. And after the winter was over, having been well fed, well clothed, loaded with handsome present, and supplied by the king with horses and travel expenses, we proceeded to Armalek, the capital of the Middle Empire. There we built a church, bought a piece of ground, dug well. So they bought some land, they dug well, sung their masses, did their whole Christian Catholic thing. All right, baptized several, preaching freely and openly, notwithstanding the fact that only the year before the bishop and 6 other minor friars had here ungone, for Christ's sake, a glorious matriarchdom, and illustrated by brilliant miracles. So Christ, missionary. All right, let's skip down a little bit, because we may want to get into the missionary stuff. Let's get down to some drop, man. All right. Here we go. There is a church of St. George there. All right. So we're talking about St. Thomas before that. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave this link so you can get all this drop. But, let's get it. There's a church of St. George there of the Latin Communion, at which I dwelt, and I adorned it with fine paintings and taught there the holy law. And after I had been there some time, I went beyond the glory of Alexander the Great, when he set up his column in India. Alexander is in India. Prester John is also referred to as Alexander. Let's go. For I erected a stone as my landmark and memorial in the corner of the world over against paradise. All right, so over against paradise. And anointed it with oil. In sooth, it was a marble pillar with a stone cross upon it, intended to last till the world's end. And it had the Pope's arms and my own engraved upon it, with inscriptions both in Indian and Latin characters. I consecrated and blessed it with the presence of an infinite multitude of people, and I was carried on the shoulders of the chiefs. So he's in the litter of the palanquin like Solomon. So he's giving you some job, but he's also giving you a story of him being like loved and revered for the Christianity he's spreading to the Indians and being carried around on the shoulders of Indian chiefs for teaching them about Christ. All right, so but we trust me. So here we go. So after a year and 4 months, I took leave of the brethren, and after accomplishing many glorious works, I went to see the famous Queen of Saba. Oh yeah. Now, in case you don't really get it yet, I'm just setting you up, man, for what's about to go down, because we're going to get more into this Sheba, Saba, Saba. I mean, if you want, oh man, it's all kind of good Saba Sheba drop. Sabians. What are the Sabians? You heard about the Sabians? Have you heard of the Sabians? Sabians or Sabians. Love to the fam, man. A lot of folks digging up this Caliph and Sabians, from another direction as well, man. But it's all come together. We're an ancient people speaking old South Arabian language, right? Because they want to make this an Ethiopian thing. We're just talking about the Sheba and the Caliphs and the Sarakalis. But look how they connected. They say the king of Saba has been identified with the biblical land of Sheba. Sheba is Saba. The view that the biblical kingdom of Sheba was the ancient Semitic civilizations of Saba, and what they're calling Southern Arabia. All right. So then we got the Solomon and Sheba thing, and the Sabas and the Shebas. Let's go. That's all I'm gonna give you right now. So let's get a dismount right here. I went to see famous queen of Saba, Sheba. Now remember, we're just talking about this guy's travels, right? And he's in here talking about India called Columbum and his Columbus situation. We're just talking about his travels in the Americas. He's talking about the Pope finding the Khan. We're talking about his travels here. So he's looking for this famous queen. How come you haven't heard of her? How come you don't know much about Queen Sheba? Queen Khalifa, the Black, Sarah the Black. But her, I was honorably treated. By her, I was honorably treated. So he found her, he was honorably treated. And after some harvest of souls, they harvested their souls, for there are a few Christians there. So that's what they call harvesting souls. Doesn't that sound satanic? I proceeded by Cioto Ceylon, a glorious mountain opposite to paradise, and from Ceylon to paradise, according to what the natives say after the tradition of their fathers, is a distance of 40 Italian miles, so that 'tis said, the sound of the waters falling from the fountain of paradise is heard there. All right, so here's a chapter concerning paradise. Now, paradise is a place that really exists upon the earth, surrounded by the ocean sea. The ocean, the true ocean, they used to call it. In the regions of the Orient, on the other side of the Columbine, India. Columbus is India. America. Over against the mountain of Ceylon. 'Tis the loftiest spot on the face of the earth, reaching, as Johannes Scotus hath proven, to the sphere of the moon, a place remote from all strife, delectable in balminess and brightness of atmosphere, and in the midst whereof a fountain springeth from the ground, pouring forth its waters to water, according to the season of paradise and all the trees therein. And there grows all the trees that produce the best of fruits. Wondrous fair are they to look upon, fragrant and delicious for the food of man. Now that fountain comes down from the mount and falleth into a lake, which is called by the philosophers Euphrates. Euphrates. I mean, I can't make this up. I can't make it up. When the Creator makes it so, I can't make it up. If you surf this wave, you know exactly where I'm going. You know exactly where I'm going. Click on the link. Click on the link. So we're just talking Euphrates. And I'll do this quickly because we done did it before. We're just talking Euphrates, right? So again, this is a 17th century document. This is an advertisement that was put out by these same type of explorers, and they were, painting what they were seeing here. All right, advertisement of the arrival of the tapir and the menagerie of the white elephant Inn, woodcut and printed, 1700, with the corner library of the University of Amsterdam. We're really talking about New Amsterdam, which is really just talking about New York. You feel me? This poster pictures a South American tapir that was on display at an Amsterdam inn called the White Olifant or White Elephant. Like the Blue Jaw Inn and the White Elephant also capitalized on the influx of curiosities into Amsterdam or New York. Animals probably were purchased at the dock of the East Indian Company, or the sailors returning from the overseas. All right. And all we're talking about here is, it says, the text follows with a broad invitation to all, here's the quote, to all gentlemen. So this is from the 1700s, talking about you here in America, Negro. So-called Negroes, all right, who are you? They don't know. To all gentlemen, ladies, burghers, merchants, and furthermore to all lovers of animals, to come and see this rarity, which many writers say does not exist anywhere in the world. It had been captured with great difficulty and cost in the river Euphrates in America. This picture has been captured at great difficulty and cost in the river Euphrates in America. This one right here. A tapir with his young, a gouache painting, all right, 1700s, Arts Library, University of Amsterdam, is his play. Because all I'm saying is right here, it says, this White Elephant Inn, rather he paints a colorful gouache of several tapirs grazing peacefully in the waters of what is undoubtedly meant to be the Euphrates River in America. Euphrates River in America. Yes, the Euphrates connects everywhere, my friends. And where did it start? What's the origin? What did they teach you? You need to reteach yourselves. Now that fountain cometh down from the mountain, falleth into a lake, which is called by philosophers Euphrates. Euphrates River in America. Euphrates. Here it passes under another water, which is turbid, and issues forth on the other side, where it divides into 4 rivers, which pass through Ceylon, and these be their names: Guyana, which is that which which circleth the land of Ethiopia, which are now the Negroes, which is called the land of Prester John, El Prester Juan, Emperor de los Abyssinios, or Ethiopia, but we're talking about the Ethiopia here, as Ethiopia is a general term referring to dark-skinned people. Before that was Abyssinios. Indies is also a dark-skinned people reference, general, just like Moor, meaning great. Prester John, you may also call my man Prester John. You may also call him Wang Khan, king of the Karyots in the Mongol Empire. Wang Khan as Prester John. All right, again, we're just talking Cathay, and when we talk Cathay, it is certain, he writes, while still off the Cuban coast. Cathay, Cuban coast. 10 days from the Chinese mainland. Cuba. Whoa. I like this now. Oh, I like it because I see Cathay again, and now we know to link Cathay with Cuba. With who? Cuba, Cathay, grand city of Cathay. It is certain, he writes while still off the coast, the Cuban coast, that I am in front of Zeto and Gunse. In our language, the north coast of South America. Columbus believes he has at last located the name and kingdom of the Khanate, Cariates, Old Testament, Israel, Moses, lawkeepers, exilarchs, David, Rechabites, you get it, we with it, you get it, we with it, let's go. River Euphrates, where? In America. Here it passes undisturbed. All right. So you got Guyana, circa Ethiopia, which are now the Negroes. It is believed, it is now, which is called the land of Prester John. So again, you have this separate source here, this travels of John de Marignolli. And what does Marignolli say? Gotta have fun with this, man, because it's too true, too real. It's too true, too real. What did Marignolli say? He said, man, that this river Guyana is that which circleth the land of Ethiopia, Abyssinia, River Euphrates in America, which are now the Negroes. You see how to find yourself? Are you coming awake? You see how they hid you? Are you coming awake? Ethiopia's here. River Euphrates here. Jerusalem, which is called the land of Prester John, King David. It is indeed believed to be the Nile, which descends into Egypt by a breach. Egypt is here. So this river Euphrates here is the Nile here. I've heard it also connected to the Mississippi here, running north and south, which descends into Egypt, Memphis, by a breach made in the place which is called Abasti. All right. I didn't want to say these other saints and people are hiding out there and doing their thing there. All right. I mean, this is a great drop. I'm going quick, so I got to skip some of this, man. But, you know, it's tough. It ain't easy. And again, we come lastly to the fourth river by name Euphrates, which separates what they're calling here Syria and Assyria and Mesopotamia and all that, because that's the general information. But they ain't breaking down to you this other river Euphrates in America. So they want to talk about that river Euphrates. Get it? When we crossed it, we were in Holy Land. Holy Land. Where have I heard this Holy Land reference before? Who else has referred to you as a Holy Land people? How do we connect this Columbus? Who again? Columbus? All right. In our language, the north coast of South America. The mainland being Hispaniola, which they call South America. What? Columbus believes he has at last located the name and kingdom of the Khan or King David. Where? In South America. South America, the Indies, the kingdom of the third Indies, the furthest Indies, where it all began in South America. Whoa. But now we have this holy city. And I say holy moly. We have a holy city. So go over to that drop library, man. Love to all the family surfing the wave. Love to the King Fire for dropping that drop. To Mill Rock Smith Bay dropping that drop, man. Journalism still dropping that drop. Get your tech drop. Get some secret drop on this Voynich manuscript, man. Alright? Get some more fire. If you ain't got, you know what I'm saying? If you need more fire, you gotta turn up more, get some more fire. Love to the King, man. He don't stop. Love to the King, man. Francisco, man. Whoa. I mean, this might be our dismount, actually, man. This might be our dismount. After I show you this holy city, I might be right back to Francisco, man. Because that connects absolutely with what we're talking about. And the bruh, don't stop dropping that drop. But again, when we just talking about that Francisco, and we just talking about the holy city, We're just talking about South America. Kings. 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 This is how it all began. Among the earliest and most fascinating witnesses to the latter is a manuscript of 84 folios, pages dated between September 13th, 1501 and March 23rd, 1502, and now preserved in the Biblioteca Colombina in Sevilla. It begins, "This is the book, the beginning of the book." What? The Book of Prophecies, El Libro de las Profecías, the Book of Prophecies, compiled by Christopher Columbus himself. This is the beginning of the book or collection of authority sayings, opinions, and prophecies concerning the need to what, Columbus? Recover the holy city. And what else? What else, Columbus himself? Mount Zion. What else do you need to do while you recover in your voyage, Columbus, as you're looking for the what? Damn, man. Oh, man. 4, 3, 2 to drop. You already know, man. Oh, that makes me feel good. What else, Columbo? Columbus believes he has at last located the name and kingdom of the Khan. He's looking for the holy city, Mount Zion, and he finally believes he has at last located the name and kingdom of the Khan. Khanate, Rakobite, Khan, Khanate, Khanates, Cariots, alright? This is the beginning of the book or collection of authoritative sayings, opinions, and prophecies concerning the need to recover the holy city and Mount Zion and the discovery and conversion of the islands of the Indies. Prester John of the three Indias. So he knew he was converting and coming to convert South America, North America, the islands of the Indies, the third Indias, and of all peoples and nations, for who? Ferdinand and Isabella, our Spanish rulers. So Columbus was specifically going to recover, he's saying, the holy city and Mount Zion, while he discovers and converts all these islands of Indies while he's at it. And all the peoples and nations. You don't know, you don't think he knew about the third India, you don't think he came here to convert you under the dumb Diversas 14 Papal Bull, under Pope Nicholas V. You don't think he came to convert you while he's searching for this holy city, while he's searching for Mount Zion in South America? While he's in South America, Columbus believes he has at last located the name and kings of the Khan, the Chariot, the tribes of Moses, the tribes of Israel, the tribes of Judah, the tribes of Ephraim, all of the tribes. He's looking for the kingdom. He's looking for the holy city. He's looking for the holy city and Mount Zion. He's looking for Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem. And I tell you, man, however we got to do it, it's got to be with a Francisco dismount. Love to the king, love to y'all. Stay up, suit up. Jerusalem, navel of the earth. Dig on it. Take it away.
Everything's been perverted, so you can't do your rituals. You can't do your growing. You cannot do the things you once did because you don't understand how things are. That's why every building was a line for winter and summer solstice. Okay, now let's get into this. Fair use.
Fair use on that ass, man.
I start thinking about this idea of the South and the North, and why do we always make the North the dominant thing? And then I saw a map that Idrisi, the first map maker of the world, was Idrisi, was a Moroccan who did a world map, and he put the South on the top, and he put the North on the bottom.
Whoa.
The European map makers actually took from his book, but they realized the significance of putting Idrisi, the first map maker of the world,
They
was
flipped you upside
Idrisi, was a
down.
Moroccan who did a world map, and he put the south on the top and he put the north on the bottom. The European map makers actually took from his book, but they realized the significance of putting the south on the top. It put Africa over Europe. And so they actually flipped it over and made their maps with the north on the top. And interestingly enough, who did a world map, and he put the south on the top and he put the north on the bottom. The European map makers actually took from his book, but they realized the significance of putting the south on the top. It put Africa over Europe. And so they actually flipped it over and made their maps with the north on the top. And interestingly enough, if you read in the book called The Venture of Islam, Hodgson points this out, how he said it's so unfortunate that the Muslims don't recognize that they made the first maps and they put the south on the bottom, and they should go back to putting the south on the bottom because it's a completely Eurocentric worldview that actually does not have historical foundation.
And when he's saying Muslim, remember that etymology is just the people of the province. Now, you're not talking about, I mean, of course, you know, the Moors will be like, he's just talking about Morocco. He's just talking about the Moors. But the Moors were many nations, many tribes. All right. So, you know, let's keep this shit clear. All right. So you have melanated people that we know for sure. Many that are called Moors by being great and big and having these families and this greatness and being connected to the kings of Jerusalem. And they're more because of their inheritance. Now, they flipped you north and south and east and west like we've been surfing on. I wasn't expecting this. I haven't got a chance to click on this one yet. I just dropped it because I knew it was dropped, and I knew I would click on it at the right time with you. So when they flipped you upside down, how do you flip yourself back? How do you just say, fuck it? How do you say south is north and north is south and believe it? But every time you look at a map, you don't believe it no more. You never seen the math with everything flipped upside down. They did it so that they can feel like they're on top of things. It's psychology. It's psychology, man. It's brain fucking you, man.
And map
What's the
makers
truth?
actually took from his book, but they realized the significance of putting the south on the top. It put Africa over Europe. And so they actually flipped it over and made their maps with the north on the top. And interestingly enough, if you read in the book called The Venture of Islam, Hodgson points this out, how he said it's so unfortunate that the Muslims don't recognize that they made the first maps and they put the south on the bottom, and they should go back to putting the south on the bottom because it's a completely Eurocentric worldview that actually does not have historical foundation.
No historical foundation.
So we should make maps that have Africa, right, on the top, and then Europe on the bottom, and we say, I'm going down to Europe and up to Africa, right? So we have to say, I'm going up to Los Angeles and down to San Francisco, because in Arabic, you actually do say the south is up. In fact, they call southern Egypt Sa'id, which is upper Egypt.
Bang.
And northern Egypt is lower Egypt.
That's why they call upper and lower. And you're like, well, it's because of the flow of the Nile. You trying to explain this bullshit away? Mother, they flipped you upside down and they spun you on a ball. Do you see how fucked up that is? They flipped you. Look, if I never make another video, just remember this, man. Before you say this is bullshit, remember, and love to Francisco, man, because he knows exactly what time it is. They flipped you upside down and they spun you around. They flipped you upside down and they spun you around. That reversed your frequency. They put you in a forked tongue language, and now you're reading from left to right instead of from right to left. They flipped everything, people. If they say you come from Africa, you don't. If they say you're spinning on a ball, that's what science says, you don't. That's why the Pope has a telescope named Lucifer. And that's why CERN has big-ass magnets, literally called Satan. They're magnets they use at CERN, Switzerland, Apollyon, Apollo on the temple of Apollo with Shiva out front. Say Satan. All their magnets are Satan magnets. And the Pope has a telescope called Lucifer staring at the ceiling. All they're doing is staring at the ceiling. They're not even staring beyond the barrier. Everything is small and close, and they're tricking you. They flipped you upside down, and they spun you around.
Go down to Egypt, right? And also in Libya, they say it as well. They say Nas'ad al-Qibla. We're going up south. Wanzil al-Bahr. We're going down to the ocean, which is in the north. So this is traditional cosmology, and don't think this is insignificant. The impact that seeing maps all your life with Africa on the bottom. Yeah. And then the other thing about a southern map, nothing's over Arabia. That's another thing about it. Look at a southern map, because I have one that was printed in Australia, because the Australians caught on to this. And they said, why should we be down under? And so they just turned it right side up, right? And they made their maps. I have a map from New Zealand, and it's really interesting to look at it. It actually puts things in a very interesting perspective. You start seeing things like how close Ireland is to Morocco, for instance, and how close Germany is to England. You realize how strong the Germanic ties, because you don't get that sense when you see a northernly dominant map. So it's very interesting.
Well, another map that questions our assumptions about north was actually a map that I enjoy telling school teachers about especially. This was a map that was first drawn by a 12-year-old boy from Australia. His name was Stuart MacArthur. Stuart drew an early version of this map when he was in 6th grade and passed it into his teacher, and the teacher said, Stuart, we do this right, or you're not going to pass. And he didn't understand why it was that he couldn't have Australia on the top of the map. And he didn't understand.
This is your world. Let's go.
Do this right, or you're not going to pass. And he didn't understand why it was that he couldn't have Australia on the top of the map. Well, a few years later, he was 15 years old, and he was an exchange student in Japan. And when he got to Japan, he was ridiculed mercilessly by his fellow exchange students from the USA. They taunted him for coming from the bottom of the earth. And at that time, when he was 15, he resolved that one day he was going to publish a map of the world with Australia on top. So fast forward 6 years, he's 21, he's graduating from the University of Melbourne. This is Australia Day in 1979. He published this map that you're looking at, and since that time, it's sold 350,000 copies. Not bad for a kid who was told to do things a different way. An abbreviated version of the caption on that says as follows: At last, the first move has been made. The first step in the long overdue crusade to elevate our glorious but neglected nation from the gloomy depths of anonymity in the world power struggle to its rightful position, towering over its northern neighbors, reigning splendidly at the helm of the universe. No longer will the South wallow in a pit of insignificance, carrying the North on its shoulders.
Wait, if he's boasting about Australia being so close to the top, look at South America. And is that why in our Hyborian war map, they call this area right here the land or the return or the place of no return? And it says Thoth Amon spell barrier. And there's a Thoth spell barrier connecting right here. So what's beyond that spell barrier? Is it the truth? What's beyond when you get to the tip? Nothing is closer to the top, to the actual top, the actual true North Pole than this way. Interesting.
For little or no recognition for her efforts. Finally, South emerges on top. South is superior, South dominates, long live Australia, ruler of the universe.
Oh, man. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? If that's how they get down there, imagine what's really going on. Imagine what's really happening. Imagine the trees are still in existence, as the Pantheon says, and this is shown by the fruits and leaves which are sometimes carried forth by those rivers, and known by their medicinal value and fragrant odors. Nor is this incredible, for in the adjoining provinces of India, South America, likewise are trees which produce fruit of a marvelous kind every month. Keep rocking that paradise frequency. Know that you are already in it, and know that it is within you, and you are, and we are Drop Nation. Love.